Hey folks, how's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. So, it's a little bit overdue, but finally had a chance to do it. Just wanted to do a hangout, kind of shoot the shit for a while, and thank everybody for helping me hit that goal, 5,000 subscribers. I think it happened about maybe 2 weeks ago, but this is the little channel that could, eh? It only took, I don't know, I've been doing this for 10 years. But I mean, for the amount of effort I put in, 10 years is about right. So let me just thank, or say hello to the people that have strolled in here. We got Mitch Heyman, how are you? There's Mr. Music, good evening from Southern California. Yeah, man, good evening. I wonder if it's as hot there as it is here, because it's really hot right now. Papa Blue, how's it going? William De Silva, welcome. There's Cushman, Pete Brown. Awesome. Some Dave dude. What am I missing? Half Face. Hey, man, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. Cool, cool. Yeah, thanks, everybody. I mean, it's all you guys. I mean, tuning in, watching the shows, watching the channels. I mean, watching the programs. I mean, shit, I'm over 900 videos at this point. So, but I've really slowed down in the last couple of years. But earlier on, I was pumping them out like crazy. I was doing weekly shows. I had interviews, once a week, and I think I was going live on the weekends. I mean, I was just doing a lot of stuff. All kinds of gear reviews, but it started to be a little bit much, so I kind of backed off a little bit. And I mean, you guys have stuck with me, so that's extremely cool, man. Really, really appreciate that. Not too hot in Anaheim right now, Mr. Music. In Fahrenheit, I would say we're probably running about 90 plus out there right now. Doing good, Half Face. Awesome, man. Good to hear. Dark Wizard, how are you? Bring back the live wires. Yeah, live wires was something that I was involved with. I think we had our own live wires channel. Is that right? Remind me, William. Wayne McConnell, welcome. Yeah, but that was like a 3-man operation. I was a late comer. They tacked me on there at the end, and I don't know how many I did with those guys, but it was a lot of work, and I mean, life changes, and people get busy and move and different jobs and this and that, and so unfortunately we could not maintain the live wires. But hey, man, I think the live wires channel is still up. You can still go and watch all those evil jumps that Brian used to do. Brian was awesome on that show. But yeah, man, you always go back and rewatch that stuff. BB May, thank you, sir. Nice to see you. Guitarman 45. Stopping in to say congrats, thank you, and hello. Can't stay at the Token Lounge checking out Derek St. Oh, very cool. Derek St. Holmes. Is he by himself, or is it Whitford Holmes? Or is he on his own? Guitarman 45. That guy's got, I mean, for those of you that don't know, I mean, most of you in here do. Derek was with, I guess that's what he became the most known for, was being in Ted Nugent's band with those classic records and doing a lot of lead vocals. And he is a really damn good guitar player, too. I mean, didn't really get a chance to show that off too much with Nugent, because Nugent's Nugent. But yeah, he's a really great guitar player. Yeah, let me know if anybody's got any questions or comments. My fingers are a little mushy today. Yeah, the evil jumps, they were really cool. Yeah, a little mushy today, not because I gigged today, but I was recording all afternoon. So, as some of you may or may not know, I got a whole playlist of original music. I think there's, I don't know, 25, 30 songs there. And I had one that I wrote about 2 months ago. And, when you write new music, it's like, okay, I've got some recording software at home, and I can do everything but basically bass, right? Or bass and drums. So, oh, actually drums. I use a drum machine. Anyways, so I had it all kind of mapped out and demoed, and then I kind of sat on it, and I'm like, is this worth doing? Is this worth not doing? And then I came back at it and changed a couple of things, and my brother's got a little home studio set up, which is where I do all my stuff. And I went there, and he was saying, there's one of his favorites that we've ever done, and I'm like, whoa. And he was mentioning, it reminds him of old school you know, Priest and Scorpions, and it's got that kind of vibe to it. It's funny, man. Like, you write a piece of music, and whether you're aware of it or not, all your influences come out, because with the stuff he was saying, I'm like, really, really. And the fact that he liked it as much as he did, kind of took me for a loop. I'm like, really? Okay, because I wasn't even sure we should record this, but it'll be coming out. I laid down all the guitar tracks today. We didn't go too crazy. I used this one on it, and I used the Gretsch on it, and a couple of amps. We used the Soldano, and he's got this Sir Badger. It's not the Sir Badger. Is it the Sir Badger amp? I think it's a Sir amp. It might be the Badger. I think that's what it's called. And this thing, that Sir amp is amazing. I always use that, and 4 overdubs, guitar solo, and vocals, and now he's got to throw a bass on there and mix it, and yeah, and hopefully we'll have it. I don't want to rush him, but usually it's pretty good. Within like 2 or 3 days, I get it back. Yeah, Pete, check it out. It's called What Can I Do? It's it's pretty. I don't know if it's an angry song. It's a very angry, outrage type of song. So you might dig it. The guitar solo is funny, man. It's like I had a guitar solo all planned out and mapped out, and then of course the red light syndrome, right? That's so frustrating. I don't know how these pros do it, man. You just point at them and boom, they just knock it off. And I had mine all more or less composed. I kind of knew where I was going to go, and then the red light thing, and yeah. But we got through it. Let's see. Russ. Hey, Russ, how are you? Thank you so much. Yeah, actually, some of you saw that. I don't want to talk about the Black Sabbath thing because it's been talked about to death, but so I'm not going to talk about that. But I, years ago, I think maybe it could have been 4 years ago, when I was trying to write a song, and I got into I was going through a Sabbath phase, and I thought to myself, can I write like a Black Sabbath song, like something like in that lane, and came up with something called Black Holiday, which is very Sabbath. It's like the song Tony never wrote, and then I got a video, which is it's a kind of disturbing video. I usually post this around Halloween because it's got a very dark tone to it, musically and visually. And so I posted that up. I've got it on my main page on the YouTube channel. I'll play it here at the end when we're all done. But just think of it as it's called Black Holiday, Black Sabbath. Sabbath being a holiday, you get the connotation. Anyways, but it's it's a pretty dark song. The one I wrote today is not as dark, but lyrically it's really dark. Yeah, I've been as some of you know, I gig a lot, and we've been on a run here for I think we were like 5 or 6 weeks straight. So I've got this weekend off, thank God, and next week, and I think I got 2 weeks, and then we start up again. But it really takes a toll on the hands, man. I didn't touch a guitar until today, doing this song with my brother. So I'll dig it for sure, Hack. I get the red light syndrome. I was recording a new song and I went totally blank. Yep. Came back to it the next day. It all flowed. Wild how that works. Yeah, sometimes it's good to like take a breather, you know, kind of get your faculties back. But I'm a little bit, the way I do it, I just plow through it. I'm too dumb to step away, but I really should. But I find like every time I do it, I get a little bit closer to what I want, to that feel that I want, you know. And my solos are not flashy, guys. I'm not doing, tapping. There's no whammy bar or acrobatics going on. For me, it's all about, note choice, nice touch, nice vibrato, and some nice phrasing. And that's kind of all I can do at this point. I got a ticket to see Robin Trower in October. That guy still delivers. He's 80 years old. Holy shit. His new album is very good. You imagine 80 years old? I'm bitching and I'm not even 60 yet about playing on the weekend. And this guy's 80 years old. If you're that age and you're doing it, you're only doing it for one reason, right? You're doing it because you love it. Because I don't think... I hope that Robin Trower isn't hurting for cash. I mean, in the career he's had. So I'm pretty sure he's just doing it because he absolutely loves doing it. For Mammoth in Arizona, looking for it in December. Looking forward to it. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, Mammoth. I gotta confess, I have not, other than what's like that, a couple of the radio songs, I haven't really listened to any Mammoth. Gotta admit. Oh, thank you so much, Tyler. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we did a show earlier this week. I had Tim Derling on. We did a show on Night Ranger. If you're a Night Ranger fan, go and check that out. And what's the date today? It's the 12th, so not next week. In about 2 weeks, I'm doing the next show with Martin and Pete, and it's going to be an album versus show with a twist. So I don't want to give it away, but that's going to be a good one. It's coming up in a couple of weeks here. How's the guitar sound? Sound okay? I'm just today. I'm just going through my what's this thing called? Gigcaster, Boss Gigcaster 5. It's like an interface that's got some built-in effects. It's a good show. Oh, you like that one, Kush? Yeah, I gotta admit, I mean, Tim reached out and wanted to talk about his book on my channel, and the first thing I said to him is I'm not a huge Night Ranger fan. And there's certain bands, and I don't know, everybody's got a obviously different taste, or what I call them sometimes is a different threshold, so to speak, right? Like there's, for example, with really heavy music, I mean, there's a certain threshold that I can handle, and then it's like, okay, I can't listen to this anymore, And like a lot of guys my age, that threshold is, for lack of a better term, the whole Cookie Monster thing. Like as soon as I hear that, I'm out, right? Even if the playing and the chops are amazing, it's just that turns me off completely. Or there's some bands that are just too heavy, and it's like I just, And then that's one threshold I have. The other threshold I have is sort of the pop threshold, where a band is, they're kind of riding the line between, okay, we're a rock band, but we also want to be very poppy and have, like a lot of hooks, right? And if the band, like for me, like my dividing line is you know, it, it's got to be leaning more on the heavy guitar rock side of things, right? So, which is why, in the mid 80s, for example, I wasn't listening to Triumph, right? Because that's when they were doing that. I wasn't listening to, who else was doing it? Well, Bon Jovi. I wasn't listening to that. I wasn't listening to Night Ranger. I wasn't listening to any of these bands. I was more listening to bands like the Scorpions, Judas Priest, the Sabbath with Dio, the Ozzy, that sort of thing. I was always more into the heavier stuff. Metallica at the time, you know, or actually no, Metallica. I came to Metallica later, but yeah, that was the kind of stuff. Even Kiss. I mean, before they started doing like as soon as they started doing Crazy Nights and that kind of, it's like what, you guys went over to the wrong side of that line. So I don't like that record at all, right? So, but when they were doing Animalize, I was still okay. But yeah, everybody's got that kind of threshold, right? That like when I mentioned Triumph, like the '70s Triumph or the earlier '80s Triumph, Allied Forces and shit. What was the other record that they had that was really good? There was two of them real close together. Anyways, but yeah, once they started getting into like Sport of Kings and that, like I'm out. Cushman, that was okay. Really good sound. Sounds like a cocked wah. Really? Okay, because I don't think I have. I don't even know if I made this patch up or if it was one that was already in here. I'm not even sure. I don't know. Tim Henry Music Life, congratulations. I've just started. I have 39 subscribers, but dreaming to reach the mountaintop. Good luck to you, Tim Henry. It only took me 10 years? Yeah, I'll be hitting those Rick Beato numbers soon. I'm kidding. Edge of Excess with Phil X, pretty heavy. Yeah, that record, I don't think that record had the songs, Mr. Music. It was a heavy record, of course. And I mean, you take Rick Emmett out of the band, that's a big part of the sound, right? But I don't think that record had the songs, I mean, one record that kind of sort of in a similar vein, we talked about it with the Night Ranger show. There's a record called Feeding the Mojo, which only had like two guys from Night Ranger. I think it was Brad Gillis and Kelly Keagy, and then they had this Gary Moon, this different guy that played bass and sang and whatever. And so that was an amazing record, but it was not a Night Ranger record. But on its own, standalone, phenomenal record, So I would say that kind of falls into that same category. Hey, there's Q. How's it going, man? My wife won tickets to a list of concerts coming up. Ziggy Marley? Sorry to hear that, William. What's in the brown hard case? This thing? Take a wild guess. Joe DeLenza, how are you, man? Yep, cheers from Windsor, cheers from TO. How you doing? How hot is it there, Joe? It's brutal over here right now. The brown case is a spare bedroom. I rent that out to a family of 4. And the rental rates here are like about $2,000 a month, so I'm making a killing on that case. Fender Strat. No, but I got a Strat story for you. Just reminded me, Henry. Went to some music stores today. Which I haven't gone in a long time to a music store, believe it or not. But yeah, I went to a couple of music stores today. It's not a Strat and it's not an Explorer half face. That's a pretty good guess though, half face, because an Explorer case is that size. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell with looking at it this way. But what if I told you that that case is at least 4 feet long, maybe even 4.5 feet long? So I think the Explorer case is the same. So what guitar is similar to an Explorer that would require a case that big? There's your clue. It's not a V. Good. That's another good guess. You guys are on it, but you're picking around it. No, I don't play bait. Firebird. There you go. Cushman's got it. That's the Firebird case. Now that case is so big that when I take out the Firebird, and I love playing the Firebird, it's so much fun to play. It's like playing a canoe, you know. It's kind of like goes way out. You want to play an E chord on a Firebird, your arms are out like this far, like as far as it'll go out, right? But I love taking it out. But when I put that case in the car, and I've got a sedan, decent sized sedan, and I lay that in the back seat, it literally goes from one door to the other. Like it fills the entire back seat length. That's how big that case is, you know. And I mean, if you're new to the if you're new to the channel, you probably haven't heard the story. But if you're not new to the channel, you have. But just a quick story about the Firebird. So I bought a Firebird. I found a used one. At the time, they were like, in Canadian money, they were $1,400. So it's like, good deal. Used Firebird. Okay, bought it, loved it, played it, blah 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 blah. And then for some unknown stupid reason, I sold it. So, sold the Firebird. So then, I don't know, about a year later, the Firebird itch came back. And I'm like, why did you sell that, you moron, this and that, whatever. And it was I forget what year it was. But I just, for shits and giggles, I went to, online, I went to our Version Guitar Center, which is called Lon McQuaid, and they had the same Firebird, not the same exact guitar, but the same model Firebird that I sold. They had one left in all of Canada, okay, and it was old stock, so it was a few model years old, but it was new old stock, and it was black and white like the original. And this was during COVID, actually. So it would have been like around 2020, 2021, when you had to line up, one by one to get your stuff in the store. And they wouldn't even let you in the store. They're like, just, you're in the entrance. But anyway, it's another story. And I bought the same guitar. Now, what saved my butt, too, is because it was new old stock, it actually cost me the same amount of money as the first one that I had a year or so before. So I got lucky. And so now I learned. Don't sell a Firebird. There's only 2 guitars that I've ever sold and rebought. That's one of them. That's the only one I sold and rebought the exact same guitar, same color, same model, same everything. Another guitar that I sold and bought, but different color, but same guitar as a Telecaster. I've done that with a Tele, done it with a Firebird. Not a good idea to do. 27 degrees. Oh, we got a lot of humidity here, Joe. That's what's making it real hot. 105 in Mesa, Arizona. Wow. So I've been to Arizona, Pete. How many years ago was that? 3 years ago. And I was there. It was October, and in the daytime it was in the 80s, but it was really comfortable. It was really comfortable. And I was there with Dave, a YouTube friend, and yeah, man, for a couple of days we hung out. We went to all the music stores there. We went to all the platinum rooms and all that kind of stuff, and it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. A name I can't recognize. Do you play? I try to play. Yes. Q, you still in here? But yeah, Arizona was awesome, man. Beautiful place. It's like the way he described it was, or the best way to describe it is kind of like, um, you know, the landscapes and that. It's sort of like you're on the moon, you know. And a lot of coyotes. I remember the coyotes. Here. See what's going on here. All right. Can you play Adam? Oh, that's a really good riff, Tim. That is an awesome riff. I would love to learn how to play that. Yeah, that's off my favorite Aerosmith record. Toys in the Attic, hands down, is my favorite record. Everybody says Rocks, right? But for me, it's Toys in the Attic. I have a wah plugged in, half cocked. That's funny you mentioned that. I don't. I'm just going straight into a my Boss Gigcaster 5 here. So I might have programmed a wah into this. Honestly, I don't remember. Islander Winder. Hey man. I haven't seen your name in a while. Hope everything's good. Hey, from the UK, Rich Pool, welcome. Here's another new name. Welcome. So again, this whole thing is just to thank everybody. Thank you guys for subbing to the channel, getting me over that 5,000 wall. That was very, very awesome. Much appreciated. I was hoping to get there before the end of the year. I did not expect there to get here this quickly, so that's amazing. Oh, you caught that priest, eh? Head out on the highway, right? I blanked on the name there for a minute. I appreciate that, Tim. Appreciate that, man. Play money for nothing? Don't know it. Don't know it, William. Point of entry. Yeah, that one doesn't get a lot of love, Tim. I like it. We did a while back, maybe years ago. We did a Judas Priest ranking show, and it was a ranking or top 5. I think it was top 5. Anyways, Point of Entry was in my top 5. My number 1 has always got to be Screaming for Vengeance, though. That was like my real, I mean, you know, British Steel was already on the radio, but Screaming for Vengeance, that was like my entry, point of entry. Haha, there you go. For Judas Priest was that record. Love it. Hey, Ben Tom, thanks, man. Thank you. Desert Plains is a great song. I agree. Yeah. That record doesn't get a lot of love for whatever reason, and I don't know why. You know, I mean, they say it was rushed and this and that, but I think it's got some good songs on it. I dig it. You know, the one that British Steel's got the hits on it, right? You know, it's got Breaking the Law. What else is on it? That's one of my favorite Priest songs, I gotta admit. I think most people know that one. That was a concert staple. Metal Gods. Yeah, I love that song. Older brother used to play Screaming for Vengeance all the time when I was a youngster. Yeah. Do you like classic Great White? I don't really know a lot of Great White other than what was on the radio. Never really got into them. KK was amazing with Breaking the Law at the Sabbath event. Too bad Billy Corgan. I couldn't agree more, Tyler. I could not agree more. I loved it when KK just went off, and he just went crazy, and he's playing, and he's whammy bar, and all that kind of stuff. Really, really dug that. Really dug that. Do you know another thing coming? Oh, man, I used to. Oh, shit. I'm going playing it all wrong. Just hearing it in my head, trying to match the chords. So to answer your question, no, Cushman. But I did learn how to play that at one time, but years and years ago. Priest was due to my older brother was Unleashed. Oh, yeah, I've got Unleashed in the East. Yeah, that's a great freaking live record. And all the songs sound so much better live, eh? It's sort of that whole thing like with Kiss, you know, the first 3 records compared to the live versions on the live record. The same thing can be said really for Priest. Tyler stole the show. Yeah, Tyler was pretty amazing. Tyler and Hagar were both great. Hagar looked like a fish out of water on the first song. I don't think it was a Flying High Again. He seemed to be out of it. But then as soon as they did Rock Candy, he was back into it because it's familiar territory, right? Yeah, Tyler was great. Tyler's voice was really good. And is it true that he's 77? Did I read that right? I don't know. I don't know if I read that right. $77. Could he be 77, Tyler? I would think more early 70s. Right? I don't know. Somebody, one of you guys knows. Metallica was really good, and Ozzy doing a solo set was really good. Metallica was good, yeah. Oh, he is 77. Wow. Not crazy? Yeah, Metallica was awesome. I mean, the speed and the chops and, and then poor Kirk, playing those leads, trying to keep up with all that madness. It's crazy. He did play, if you notice, that one song he brought out Greeny. For one song, he brought it out. It was fine. I don't think he remembered the song, Let the Audience. Yeah, I think that's what happened, Tyler. He wasn't familiar with the song, or maybe he got it last minute, or he just kind of flubbed his way through it. But like I said, Rock Candy was bang on. You didn't think it was that bad? Yeah, there was. I mean, obviously some performances were better than others. Like, I said we were going to talk about this because we've been talked to death. But if you guys want to talk about it, we can always talk about the Sabbath thing. Lizzie Hale really impressed the hell out of me. That girl's got a voice on her. I thought she was great. I thought Youngblood owned it when he did changes. That was fantastic. These are like my personal highlights. I thought Rival Sons was unfucking believable. And I thought Nuno stole the show. Not stole the show, but he was like the total utility man. Oh, thanks, Pete. Yeah, I think Nuno. I mean, I was reading up, or I was listening to an interview with him, and what happened with him was he originally was only going to do 3 songs. And then Tom Morello kept calling him and say, "Hey, can you add this one? Oh, hey, do you think you can add this one and add this one?" And they just kept piling on all these songs, right? Bark at the Moon, for example, was a late addition that he had to learn and play. And the one thing that saved them, that I remember, that if I remember correctly, that some of that Aussie stuff, Bark at the Moon specifically, is stuff that he played back when he was doing, the cover band thing. But I mean, Nuno's my age, right? And so he's talking, he probably played, last time he played that he was in his early 20s maybe. So it's kind of to go back and relearn that, literally almost 50 plus years later. Not 50 plus years, my math is great, 30 plus years later, and nail it like that is just, I mean, just a testament to how great he is. Rival Sons, fantastic. It was outstanding. Thanks so much, Jeff K. Thanks for being here. Just caught what anyone posted up as they could. Hey, Rick. Thank you, man. I was excited to see Jakey Lee. Yeah. So apparently Jakey Lee's now having hand problems like arthritis. And I mean, don't forget, he was literally shot a few times. Not even a year ago, right? So, but man, he shot in the dark, nailed that. And is that, and he did Ultimate Sin. But with Ultimate Sin, I think he played the solo and Nuno played it along with him just in case. But then Nuno's, when it came to Shot in the Dark, Nuno left the stage because he didn't want to take any focus away from Jakey Lee. He wanted Jakey Lee to shine in that moment. And Jakey Lee at the beginning, he was kind of looking around. I don't know, maybe he wasn't hearing himself, or maybe the guitar was slightly out of tune or whatever. But yeah, that guy, man, Talk about big shoes to fill. Like, coming in to take over for Randy on the. I mean, Brad Gillis did step in and did Speak of the Devil, and that was unfucking believable. The playing on that record is unbelievable. But to come in and be a full-time fill-in for Randy, I mean that's some massive shoes to fill, and I think Jakey did a fantastic job with that. Yeah, held his own, 100%, Pete. Yeah. Tommy Aldridge wasn't there. Would have been better drum choice than Tommy Clufetos. Oh, for the for the Aussie stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You know what would have been even better than Tommy Aldridge? God rest his soul. Lee Kerslake was behind those drums. That would have been the ultimate. But poor guy passed away. I don't know how many years ago. A few years ago. But he was really ill. He was in bad shape. But those drums on those first records was fantastic. Yeah, Brad and Speak of the Devil. Yeah. That guy's a sick player, man. He is a sick player. He is, he incorporates the whammy into everything he does, but he doesn't use it like, he does it in a very musical manner. It's not just, like acrobatics. Like, he actually makes music with it. And he does, like, sustained notes, and then he kind of floats things, and just, anyway, he does it as almost like an added, a guitar plus, like an extra instrument on top of the, the actual guitar, if that makes any sense. Jakey Lee in 2015 at Red Rock Cartel. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a feeling Jake ain't going out anymore. Yeah, I don't think Jake's going out anymore, man. Especially if he's having hand issues. I can't see Jake going out anymore. I think he's done. Right? Unless they do, I don't know, some kind of residency of some sort. But I mean, as far as touring, I can't see that. Oh, Tyler's asking, was Jakey nice? Was he cool? Cushman's asking the same thing. Yeah, sloppy. Is a great man, nice man to meet. Cool. That's always cool when you meet your heroes and they're like solid. I mean, everybody, if you know my channel, I grew up on Kiss, so for me, meeting those guys was a big deal, and they were all cool. I met every member and former member, current and former member, all of them, basically, except for two. Eric Carr, because I missed out on him, he passed away. Everybody knows that. And actually, Ace Frehley, funny enough. Oh, thanks so much, FJ. There's a new name. Welcome. Yeah. That's my favorite Def Leppard song, hands down. Just catching up here. Yeah, Let It Go. That is a great riff. Did I meet Vinnie Vincent? Actually, Islander Winder, I did. And how can I say this politically correctly? He was on the more guy side of things when I met him. Says it was in the early 90s. Yeah. Yeah, I met him in the early 90s at a one of these fan held conventions that they used to have at a downtown hotel here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's my favorite, Pete Brown. That is my favorite riff, hands down. As I said, Tim, when he was more on the male end of things, there was no discussion or ambiguity. There was no confusion at that time. Yeah, Steve Clark was awesome. That guy wore his guitar lower than I think anyone I've ever seen. It was literally by his knees. I mean, I'm a little bit of a stickler on guitar height, right? You know, my one big comment and criticism I have is if you're wearing your guitar and you're standing up and it's up here, there's a problem. Okay, it's got to be on the belt line or lower. And Tom Morello, I'm talking to you. Pete Willis? Yeah. Yeah, Pete Willis. Yeah, they had to can him. He was, I guess, partying too much, and he wasn't serious enough. Hey, they're still out there. I saw them, actually, I saw them open, speaking of Kiss, I saw them open for Kiss. I can't remember what tour that was. I think it was on the Monster tour. I saw them, yeah. I think I've seen, I saw Motley Crue open for them. And then I think the next time around they came around was Def Leppard. Yeah. When you see Def Leppard, though, it's, from what I remember, the show almost sounded like, it didn't sound natural. It almost sounded like it was all canned and pre-recorded. I'm not saying that's what they did, but that's what it sounded like, you know. It didn't sound like a raw rock show, you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. You know. I mean, I'm sure they're all using modelers and all that kind of thing, right? That might have been part of it, who knows? Like I mentioned earlier, like my fingers are, I'm playing crappy, my hands are killing me. I was recording all day. I was mentioning that earlier, and all the recording that I was doing, it was electric guitars, this being one of them, into amp, the amp cranked and mic'd. So whenever we get this this song mixed and out, which will probably be sometime this week, keep an eye out for it. The song's called What Can I Do? It's a pretty angry song lyrically. It's about outrage. You'll get the gist of it when you hear it. But anyways, but it was all done with guitars, mic amps, tube amps, pushing air. That's the way we do it. And Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think I was saying earlier I wasn't it you know, maybe my brother saw some. My brother mixes it, and he's a musician as well. Well, not as well. He is a musician. I'm just a hack. But he saw something in it. He dug it, and he thinks it's gonna turn out. He liked the song. He thinks it's gonna be great. So, but keep an eye out for that. But all real guitars and a real amps. Saw Def Leppard in an outdoor venue, and it was fantastic. Perfect night. The songs, of course, were tuned down a half step, but they were tight. Oh, half step's fine. That's fine. Die Hard the Hunter. Yeah, I don't know how to play that. Yeah. I was good with them, like most people, up until Pyromania, and then I haven't come back to them since. Talking about Def Leppard. Because Pyromania had some good songs. Isn't that Rock Rock Till You Drop? Is that how it goes? Is that how the riff goes? Something like that. Rock Rock Till You Drop. I haven't heard that album in a long time. That's off Pyromania, right? That's the riff, right? I think that's the riff. Women to the left, women to the right. Foolin'? No, that's a different riff. Anyways, I think it's off that record. Rock Till You Drop is correct. There you go. So I'm not losing my mind. Yeah. Na, 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 na. Something like that. All right. Got a few minutes left. So again, want to thank you guys for following the channel, for supporting the channel all these years. Hopefully we'll continue to grow onward and upward, slowly but surely. And mirror, mirror. No, I think they got it. It was Rock Till You Drop, Tim. I think they got it. That's like the only riff I know off of that record. I don't know Foolin'. Yeah, so yeah, onward and upward. And again, what do we got coming up? In about 2 weeks, we got another show with Pete and Martin. It's another Album Wars show. Should be very, very cool. Good. It's an Album Wars show with a little bit of a twist. So hopefully y'all will dig that. What else is coming up? Yeah, keep your keep your eyes and ears up for a new music coming from me. If you go on any streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, any of that stuff, just type in Guitar Hack, just like you see it on the page here. I've got a bunch of music on all the streaming services. I also have a playlist of original music. So check that out. I'd really appreciate that. You never know, you guys might dig it. There's some pretty cool compositions there. There's like, I believe, somewhere between 25 and 30 songs. And another one coming this week. So, Alan Robbins, Ace was a 2,000 man, Hack is a 5. That's funny, man. That's funny, Alan. That's awesome, dude. There's Johnny Bean. Welcome. Appreciate that, Tim. Mark's Gas Station. Congrats. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll hang out here for a few minutes, see if anybody's got any last minute comments. And before I wrap this up, again, thank you all so much for hanging out on a Saturday night. Really hot Saturday night in Toronto. Thanks for the channel to enjoy and stop. Thank you so much, Dark Wizard. I only do it because it's fun, man. As long as it's fun, I'll keep doing it. It's been fun for 10 years. Has it been 10 years? It might as well be. 900 videos in 10 years. It's like 90 a year. That's a lot, man. Actually, most of those videos were in the first bunch of years. Yeah, thanks, Mitch. Yeah, please hit the like button. All right. Okay, so if you like Black Sabbath, about, I don't know, 4 years ago, I wrote a Black Sabbath song. It's original music. It's got a really spooky video that was made by Sandra Picorni. I have it queued up here. Listen to this. If you like Sabbath, this is my Sabbath song. This is the song that Tony Iommi did not write. So check this out. And thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys rock, and we'll see you all on the next video. All right, take care. Check this out.